See, I go out on a limb. I like making big bets.
I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Go on, tell a friend and tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Go on, tell a friend and tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
I shook up the world! I shook up the world!
Welcome back to Kentucky Fried Pickin, straight out of Louisville, Kentucky. Our show is dedicated to all things football, and our purpose is to entertain and educate. During the football season, we focus on helping new and experienced football fans be better bettors by offering our weekly picks and insight to help you on your winning parlay bets. And in the offseason, y'all, we're here to entertain and discuss current football news and also the history of the game. Welcome back, everybody. It's the conference championship round, down to the Final Four, and it's do or die. Yes, sir. We got two great matchups this week. I'm your host, Mike Stallings, and with me is my right-hand man, my main man, Steve Dennison. How's it going, my man?
Man, it's going great. We got some great games ahead, and it's no Cinderellas involved.
No, nobody lower than a 3 seed.
Yes.
Yeah, so some of the top dogs, it's going to be good. It's going to be great. We're going to get into it. We got a doozy of a show, y'all. We were just talking before the show about how the coaching scene is quiet, except for the Raiders, who made former interim coach, I like saying that, former interim coach, Antonio Pierce, their new head coach. Congratulations to him. That's well-deserved, I think.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah. Yep. So, but as we were talking, then we were starting to record the podcast. We had some breaking news, right? Some breaking news, big news.
Yeah.
And I kind of mentioned that some of the teams were waiting on the big dominoes to fall.
Yeah.
Me and Steve were talking about that earlier. And as we were about to record, Jim Harbaugh, y'all, is going to the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yes.
Big time.
Yes.
Wow. Big
yes.
wow. I was shocked by that, Steve. It kind of hit me because I really thought he was going to go to the NFC just to avoid facing his brother in the AFC championship. But looks like we're going to see it.
You know, what I think, Mike, is just was the perfect position because the Chargers have a team.
They got some weapons.
And they need a coach.
Mm.
So it's not, he doesn't have to build, his philosophy should come straight in and make a difference immediately.
Yeah. And I think he played there before too. So
Did
he's
he?
familiar with it. Yeah, he played not long. I think it was a year, 1 or 2 seasons maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
I wonder, does he know like the front office? Or is he, familiar with anybody? Or do they have any rapport?
Maybe ownership. I don't know if the front office is the same. That was quite a while. No offense, Jim. No offense, but it's been a while ago.
Yeah.
He's been a coach for because Jim's like 60 something.
Yeah.
So he's been coaching for 20 something years now.
You know how they do though. Some of them never leave. Well, I mean, but I think that's a great move. And I think, like you said, the dominoes. Just in case y'all didn't get that, now that somebody's done snatched him up, I think a lot of other teams will go ahead and
because I think there were a few teams that wanted him.
Yeah.
And they were kind of hoping that they were in the running, and then but now you're gonna start seeing other teams fall.
Yeah.
Belichick's the other big domino.
That's
waiting on him, see what he does.
Yeah.
And then I think it'll be pretty quickly. Everybody starts feeling their coaching staff.
I think that's exactly right, Mike.
Yeah, man. So the coaching changes about to start happening. It's interesting, which it's kind of shocking because a team usually wants to move on pretty quick and get a coach because you trying to build for the draft. Trying to get your fill out your roster, see what you need, what you want to get rid of. There's a lot of work going into the offseason. Coaches, they don't really get the offseason off. The players do. Coaches, they work pretty much year round.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, Mike, what pick did we ever talk about that the Chargers have? Do they have a good pick or like in the top 10?
They have the number 5 overall selection.
Okay, see, yeah, that means you can add to something that's already good. The bad thing was the coach, and that's been changed. So
yeah, I think you're gonna see San Diego's gonna become a contender. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
they will become a contender.
Yeah,
everywhere Jim has gone, he's won.
Yeah,
successful. Stanford, San Diego State, successful. Michigan, 49ers everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
He is a winner. My buddy,
Yeah.
Jim, he's a winner. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We're doing it today. Not just the conference championship games, but we're going to do some Peacock NFL bashing. We're going to discuss whether the fix is in for one of the conference championship games just for a ratings boost. And we're going to touch on the MVP race, if you can call it that. And of course, we're going to get into our weekly picks for the conference championship games and some player prop picks.
And y'all hit us up on YouTube, like and subscribe. Y'all know we love that. And also at KF Pickin on X, Twitter for you OGs. Usually I reverse it. At Kentucky Fried Pickin podcast on Instagram. Y'all know we love it. Comment. Let us know what you think. We will answer you.
Absolutely, man. Hey, and if y'all got some good picks, some good things you think you like, go ahead and throw them on there in the comment section too. What you like?
Absolutely.
We want to hear from you. What you looking at?
Yes.
What you looking at? So, let's go ahead and go over our last week's picks. Steve, you had the NFC division round between the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers, and also the Lions and the Bucks.
Yes, I did, and they both, pulled it out. Detroit, handled the Bucks, and the 49ers. We'll get into that later, but the 49ers won.
Yeah, which is a big win.
Yes.
For the Lions.
Yes.
Like huge. Like
yes.
That win has repercussions for millions of people.
Yes.
And I'm talking about in the city of Detroit, right?
Yes.
They said the first playoff game they won, it sparked $52 million.
Yes.
Into the Detroit economy.
Yes.
Just for 1 week of football. That's crazy.
Mike, I was thinking when you said it I remember seeing some about Beyonce's concert and how she would go in different places, and it was because people come to hotels, people spending money and all that. Right. A football team is not just a one-time thing. Right. When you get on a streak like Detroit has been on, and they've been doing this slowly but surely for years, the economy can be changed for a long time. Yeah,
Beyonce, Taylor Swift. They said they stimulate the economy wherever they go.
Yes. Yes.
They do indeed. So, so that was a great win for the Lions, and I kind of like to see it. I'm always pulling for the underdog, and I remember how the Super Bowl run for the New Orleans Saints really snapped New Orleans, if I want to say that's right, brought New Orleans back to life. Because they had been hit hard by Hurricane Katrina. They were still a little run down and stuff from the damage, the destruction that was caused, and they hadn't fully bounced back, but that helped stimulate them and help them grow again.
And Mike, not only the economy, but you never know, people love people love football.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm telling you, never know these things.
Especially in Louisiana.
Yes, yes, these things make a big difference.
Yeah. Lifts the spirits of the people, man. Gave them something to cheer about when they, only been experiencing bad stuff for a while. So I love to see it. It's good. Uplift people.
And we come together.
That's what we was talking about. 2024, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Respect, love, uplift people. Don't put them down, folks.
Yeah.
There's enough hate in the world.
Yeah. And you know what, Mike? It brings people together. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Gender, race, all of that. I'm telling you, sports brings people together.
Yeah, it really does. Big time. Leader in some of the civil rights movements, if you ask me. But anyway, that's another topic. See, we get on to Kentucky Fried mashup all of a sudden. We switching over and stuff.
Yeah. We got to give them a small dose of that because it's coming, y'all. It's coming.
Coming.
We ain't playing.
It's coming.
We ain't playing.
Jumping over to the AFC, I had the Chiefs against the Bills. I took the points. I took plus 6.5. Chiefs were the underdog playing on the road against the Bills, and they got lucky with a missed field goal at the end by the Bills, pushed just to the right. Oh, That hurts, man.
Yeah.
It hurts. Now, Steve mentioned before the kickers, they're important because they can either win games for you or they can lose them too.
Absolutely.
Which it wasn't his fault that they was losing by 3, but, he had an opportunity to tie it.
Yeah.
But it is a tough position. I couldn't imagine the pressure. Everybody's eyes are on you to make that kick. And it's not that easy. Most people can't do it.
And they held the ball. They had it at the end.
You know what I love to see, Steve, sometimes is I know at the U of L football games at halftime and stuff, they'll have the fans come out and punt and kick and they got to throw the ball down the field first, and then they punt it wherever the ball lands. When they punt it, then they have to kick a field goal from that spot, right?
No, I haven't seen it.
You've never seen it, but I love to see it because most people suck and they can't kick a field goal.
You know what I'm thinking about when you said that? Grunt got some kind of something coming where he going to kick a field goal, and I guess he missed it last year.
Yeah.
Field goals are not easy. It's
it's tough. You got to hit the ball just right.
Yeah,
inside of your foot.
But you know what? The Bills had the ball. I mean, they had the perfect opportunity. It wasn't even though he missed the field goal at the end. The Bills had the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah.
It was a great game though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. It was a good game. I think all these games were good, Mike.
They were. Well,
competitive.
Competitive. So let's that's the debatable, but. So I took the Chiefs, man. I liked them, and I told you, Steve, that veteran boy, they been there 6 AFC championships in a row.
Yeah,
that's not by accident.
Yeah, they pulled it out. Yeah, and coming back over to me, Mike, to the NFC, the 49ers. I mean, it was a scare. Green Bay, Love looked great. 49ers looked good. They didn't look good. Love looked great. Green Bay looked good. 49ers looked like, they need to work.
Yeah, they looked like rusty. They're coming off the bye, too. So
yes, and we'll later on when we talk about the games coming up, I'll get into why they look rusty, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll dive more into that. But, it was a good game, too. I wasn't surprised by the outcome, but I wasn't surprised by the Packers' performance either. That's why I took the points on them, because I said there's a chance that they could have an upset. So I went and took the 10 points and came through on that too.
Yeah.
So going into the last game with the future Super Bowl champion against the Texans, the Ravens handled them 34-10. I'll take that win.
Yeah.
One more step closer to the ring.
And I'll say something. It is, and you mentioned this, but it is something with young quarterbacks. They do make mistakes when the pressure's on.
Yeah, Love. He made a big young rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a rookie, but starting his first season, first playoffs.
Stroud, it
throwing
just
across his body on first down, interception. Bad choice.
And then, like you said, Stroud was just not. The Ravens treated them like.
I told you, Ravens defense is real, boy.
Yeah,
they real.
They treated
coming
them
for
bad.
you.
They treated them bad.
They got a Super Bowl defense. They're gonna be doing the Ravens shuffle.
Yeah, I'm with the 49ers, but I will say this: the Ravens are no joke.
No joke. So, but that is our picks from last week as far as the divisional round games went. So we were both undefeated. And, yes, sir. Feels good to be undefeated, don't it, Steve?
Yeah.
Love it. I do want to go over my picks for the player prop picks. I had 26 of them for y'all, and I got 20 out of 26 correct. Now, if you would have broken that up again, like we discussed on the last show, broken it up with about 8 picks, you would have hit on at least one of those. So, depending on how much you bet, you would have came out ahead because the odds were at least, I believe, 5-1. So on my player prop picks last week for the AFC, I missed on 6 of them. And the ones that I missed was Lamar Jackson with 175 passing yards. He ended up with just 152. I also had Odell Beckham getting 25 plus receiving yards, and he only had 12, I believe. CJ Stroud had no passing touchdowns. I had him for 1. And then also Stephen Diggs, I had him for 4 receptions, and he came up short, as well as Rashee Rice. I had him for 5 receptions. He came up short as well. And Stephen Diggs also came up short in the yardage with less than 25 yards. So Stephen Diggs definitely had a bad game.
Yeah.
And I know some people were saying, is he still a top receiver? I don't know.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Don't know. I mean, he definitely didn't show up that game, but he had a pretty good season overall. But I think maybe he is losing a step. But anyway, that is our picks from last week. We had a pretty good performance, and we're going to have another good one this week. Steve, let's take a quick break for our sponsors. We'll be right back, y'all, not just with the conference championship games, but we're also going to talk about that Peacock NFL. We get into that. We're also going to discuss whether the fix is in on one of the conference championship games and the MVP race. We got to touch on it, y'all. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Kentucky Fried Pickin is proudly sponsored by Sack Spray. Don't let the body gravy get carried away. Get you some ballsy Sack Spray today. Just one spray will have you smelling fresh all day. So quit messing around. Put the powder down. Get some Ball Guard liquid powder so you don't end up with clam chowder.
That's nasty.
Use liquid deodorant for your sack so your girl will keep coming back. Go to website ballwash.com for specials and to place an online order. Don't have stinky balls. Welcome back to Kentucky Fried Pickin. We appreciate y'all listening. We're here every Friday, and don't forget the Kentucky Fried Mashup Podcast is in the works and coming later this year on Sundays. And for your easy Sunday listening, tune in and turn it up. Now, Steve, let's talk about how the NFL tried to bamboozle fans with the playoff game on Peacock last week. We didn't get to touch on it last podcast, but we got to this time.
Yes, I think, I don't know who is it, NBC, ABC, whoever it is so shiesty.
NBC
and
the NFL, it's a combination of the two, right? Trying to maximize those profits, being extra greedy. Playoffs have always been on the regular TV where everybody can watch it. Even the folks with the bunny ears, let them tune in. Don't try to put that stuff on some special app that you got to download and get and register and pay all this money. Come on, man. We got some regular folks out here that love football. We ain't trying to do all that. We got old folks. We ain't trying to do all that. Just put the games on TV and let it be played. Let everybody enjoy it.
I agree 100%, Mike.
Do that during the regular season.
Yes. We pay, I mean, I ain't going to go too deep, but all the money comes from the people. So, all the networks, all the players, all the coaches. I mean, why would you make somebody pay for something? This is the National Football League. Everybody should be able to watch it.
Yeah, especially the playoffs. Now, like I said, during the regular season, because you got so many different games, you want to put this game in this market, that market, whatever, and that's fine. That's fine. But we're talking about the playoffs.
Yeah.
The playoffs, don't touch it. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
But you remember, Mike, it used to be a time where Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, everything was on TV. Now it's just, greed kills the need. Yeah.
But anyway, I just couldn't. I thought it was deplorable that they would pull that this year in the playoffs like that, and with one of the biggest teams. But it's kind of sleazy because it's like they trying to get Taylor's fans to pay the money because they're known for spending, right? That's like we talked about a minute ago. That they boost economies, right? So the NFL is trying to cash in on that, and it was just sleazy.
You're right. It was.
Very, very sleazy. So, but anyway, that brings me though to let's keep on. I'm sorry, Steve. I love the NFL product, but I don't like the NFL admin, the top folks, Roger Goodell.
I call them the powers that be.
The powers that be. I can't stand them, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep jumping on their backs, right? So let's talk about, will the NFL try some silly stuff and try to get the Chiefs into the Super Bowl so they can, where I'm going, Steve, right?
Yeah. Now Mike, and this is a good topic. So let me just start off by saying I don't believe it, but but it's been some games through the season, Mike, that we kind of felt like, oh, this seems but I don't believe it. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but you brought up a topic that has to be touched on.
So, which I'm just wondering, because there's already a little controversy anyway. I don't know if you're aware, but the whole thing is if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Will Taylor Swift be there?
Yeah. Of course.
Are her fans going to tune in, right?
Yeah, of course.
But then there's a little controversy, though, because she actually has a concert the night before the Super Bowl in Japan. In Japan. Right?
Yeah.
So it's some controversy here, right? Is she going to cancel the show if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So she can come watch?
Yeah.
Or is she going to continue with the show, right? And then some people, they're like, which, that's going to be tough on Taylor because she's going to have to make that decision, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or will she ditch Travis? Say, nah, I'm going to hang with my fans. Good luck on the Super Bowl. I love you, blah, blah, blah.
I'd love to see Taylor at the games. You know I do, Mike. I love to see Taylor, period.
That's why I had to bring it up.
I don't cancel. Taylor, this is what you do. You can't cancel. If you cancel, that would make me start to raise my eyebrows and wonder what's going on.
You can't even cancel for your man?
No, because you've been doing this too long.
This is what I was thinking, though. What if she does this, though, to make up for the fact that she's got to cancel? Because the Super Bowl, it's a once-in-a-lifetime type thing. It doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
Right? Her fans might understand. So what if she was to say to her Japanese fans, say, hey, listen, I need to cancel because, my man is in the Super Bowl. I want to go see it. But to repay you, I will do 2 shows. I'll come back and do 2 shows.
Well, I mean, the more the merrier, but still, I think you got to be a professional, and you've been doing this for quite a long time, way before Travis. But I do understand love is love, and this is true love.
True love.
And don't let me forget, Mike Cannon, you said under 9 months when Mike asked me last week. I said over, so we're going to keep up with that. We're going to see how it turns out.
Michael Cannon, I am with you, Mississippi. I am going with the under 9 months. It's going to happen after the season. It's going to happen.
I like it. This is a good one, y'all. I can't wait. We're going to have to bring it up no matter when it is, Mike, whatever happens.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, but yeah, interesting to see what happens. So my thing is, though, so let's say, though, Steve, if the Chiefs and the Ravens game, if the officiating is really poor and the Chiefs win,
that's a stain because it's been poor a lot this season. And if it goes the Chiefs' way, you can't, when you messing with people's mind, people are not fools, so all I can say is if you're trying to pull something, you better be very, very, very sneaky.
Yeah, but I'm not going to put it past the NFL.
Yeah, well, like I say, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but yeah.
I don't trust you, NFL. But anyway, leading into our last topic before we get into our picks and break into the championship games and get into all that good stuff, I want to talk about the MVP race, if you want to call it that, Steve.
That's great, yes.
Now, I guess some people might say there's a race between a few players.
Yes.
I guess Purdy's still somehow in the mix.
Yeah. I think Lamar should win. I would vote for him if it was up to me, but since the voting's already over, you never know.
There are some people who are saying that that Lamar's numbers just aren't as good as other people's. He's not in the top 10 in passing touchdowns. He's not in the top 10 in I think passing yards.
Yeah.
So he's not one of statistically the top quarterbacks though.
But you remember, like I said a couple of shows back, Mike, MVP stands for most valuable player.
Right.
You take Lamar away, the whole team is different.
Well, we saw that last year when they went from a playoff team and Lamar got hurt and then they fluttered and lost in the first round.
Yeah.
And barely got because they were losing games, barely got into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I think a lot of people want to get caught up in the numbers. And it's not always the numbers game. It's not always, who's the best as far as yardage and all that stuff. Because sometimes that's bad because you might be losing a lot of those games and you got to throw. And so your numbers are inflated. But it's about wins. But also if you look at, like you said, if you take a certain player off a team, what does that team look like without that player?
Yeah. How valuable is he? And then also we talk about numbers, TDs, passing yards and all that's great. But then let's throw some other numbers in the mix. What about interceptions? Things like that. Dak had the most touchdowns, but he had the most interceptions too.
Yeah.
So
and big ones in the playoffs too.
Yeah. So, that's
pick six.
That's something that I want to see too. When that comes out, Mike, we have to, because I really want to see who's going to be the MVP.
But I do want to say, here's something I want to run past you, Steve. So, Patrick Mahomes, now he's won the MVP twice.
Yeah.
Right? He came out and said Lamar should be the MVP.
See.
He said it. Now he's not a voter. He don't have a vote, but that's what he said, who he thought would be the MVP or should be the MVP. But let me ask you, so this is kind of off this race though, but we're talking about MVPs overall. Who's the greatest quarterback of all time, Steve?
Dan Marino. I can't hesitate. I can't hesitate.
Spoken as a true Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
Now, I'm shocked by that because that's really not what I mean, I know he loves Dan, but I was totally expecting him to say Tom Brady.
Oh, see, Tom Brady's the GOAT. Greatest of all time. See, you did say greatest of all time. I didn't break it down. Tom Brady is the GOAT. Yes, he is. I can't lie. When you said greatest of all time, I didn't put the GOAT.
I hope y'all saw how quickly he said Dan Marino. Which, Dan's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
He never had a ring, so that's a knock on him. That's a knock on him.
Yeah. In matter of fact, I'm going to go on and switch it. Tom Brady is number one, period.
He is number one.
Dan Marino is not over Tom Brady.
So he did win it in 1984.
See, that's go Dan. Go Dan.
He threw for a league record at that time, 5,084 yards, along with 48 touchdowns.
Go Dan. Go. Ooh. I'm glad you educated me today, Mike.
Fire.
Yes.
Fire.
Yes.
And now I will have to say, in 1984,
yes,
throwing for over 5,000 yards was unheard of.
Yes.
In 1984, Dan Marino was the first person to throw for over 5,000 yards.
All I can say is congratulations.
So you throwing that name out there, like I mean, he's a great quarterback. If you just straight up say mechanics and throwing the ball and being accurate, Dan was the man.
We got so many though, Mike. We've talked about this so many. Joe Montana. It's just the list goes on and on and on.
It's hard to compare, but of course, people nowadays are gonna say Tom Brady because he is 7 Super Bowls.
He's the GOAT.
So he's considered the GOAT. But here's my thing. Tom Brady only has 3 MVP awards. Tom Brady only has 3 MVP awards.
Yeah.
There are 2 players who had more than him. Do you know who they are?
Who?
Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers.
Both great.
But are they better than Tom?
No. Absolutely not. No.
But they have the most MVP trophies.
No, they are not better than Tom.
Okay. I just wanted to see what you said.
It's good though. It's good for their record, but they're not better than Tom.
Right. Which they are definitely great quarterbacks.
Records are always getting broken. Even the new young boys are starting to break records. Stroud's done broke some records, for a rookie. So they always getting broke because time's just moving. But like you said, sometimes numbers don't reflect what's actually going on.
We are going to get into our picks, and it's going to be fantastic. Oh, one last thing, though, Steve, on the MVP. We were talking about the MVP. Now, if let's say Lamar wins this MVP.
Yeah.
It'll be his second, right?
Yeah.
Which will put him in the top 10 of players with multiple MVP awards.
Yeah.
So he'll be in the top 10. And guess which university has 2 players in the top 10?
Who?
The Louisville Cardinals.
That's what I was. When you said that, I'm thinking, but I'm thinking
Lamar
that can't
Jackson,
be.
2 MVPs. And we're going way back now. Johnny Unitas, he had 3 MVPs.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
that was that's educational.
Just throwing out some knowledge, Steve.
L-Town all day.
Throw your L's up.
Yeah.
Throw them up.
Yeah.
So, but y'all, we're going to jump into these conference games, though. We're going to take a little break, and we'll get into those picks, and I'll give you my AFC player prop picks as well. So stay tuned, y'all. We'll be right back. Kentucky Fried Pickin is sponsored by none other than the legendary Kentucky Fried Chicken. Secret herbs and spices to go along with your vices. Be sure to grab some mashed potatoes and coleslaw so your parlay don't end up in a draw. Grab yourself some world-famous chicken because it sure is finger-licking, and keep listening to Kentucky Fried Pickin. Check for specials and promotions at kfc.com. Welcome back to Kentucky Fried Pickin. We sure do appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you keep checking in on us every Friday, even after the season, because we're going to have some great shows for you year round. We were just discussing some awesome topics we're going to have for y'all, so make sure you keep tuning in. And with that, Steve, I know you got the NFC Championship, the losing conference. What you got for us this week, Steve?
We ready, and we ain't going to lose. Lions versus the 49ers, y'all. First of all, I'm going to try to get the most important stuff out the way. If Debo doesn't play, okay, things can change drastically. Also, if Debo is not, he's got to be at a percent where he's really doing something. He can't be a decoy. So, and with the Lions, y'all, Laporta is playing great. So he's a weapon. They have so many weapons. Amon-Ra, they Goff just spreads the ball all around. So the 49ers are going to have to be able to keep up. And I think that the defense is good enough to do what they need to do, but the offense to keep up has to have Debo. Absolutely no question. If he does not play, it's just going to be a different game. Now, I just want to compare. Say if the Bucs had won, then I would say maybe Debo can sit and get rested for the Super Bowl, but not with Detroit. He has to play hands down. And then, now I'll tell you another thing. Debo, he went out early. So I'm hoping they did that so that it wouldn't be a large rest time, so that it can be, okay, like, you go and sit down because we're going to need you next week.
And see, I don't think he has to be 100% to be effective. I do think he could be a decoy alone because you got to account for him. But if he's not 100%, 49ers still going to be in a little trouble. I do think that this is an upset brewing. I do. Because the Lions are riding high on their momentum. They're playing for their city, not just for themselves and their team. They're playing for their city. They're motivated. Now, they are on the road this week. They're not in the friendly confines of Detroit. They're in the windy city of San Francisco. San Francisco is the 7-point favorite, I believe, -7.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough one, but I do think like their defense is good enough. Detroit, their pass rush is phenomenal with Aiden Hutchinson. He's a wrecking ball. He's got a lot of energy, and he's coming full speed every play.
Yeah, he Mike, I agree 100%. Hutchinson is a beast.
He could be a difference maker on defense. I'm talking about sack fumbles.
Yes.
Leading to those turnovers. So I think the Lions could upset San Fran, and especially if Debo's not 100%, I think we might see the Lions in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Mike, don't put it. What you said. Yeah, I mean, it could happen, yes. But I just want to rebut to what you said about Debo being a decoy. That's already happened earlier this year. He played, he was hurt, he was a decoy. They started getting beat. Then he had to go out. Then they started getting beat. I think maybe 3 or 4 in a row. Mm-hmm. So the proof is in the pudding as far as I look at that. Without Debo, and when I say 100%, maybe 80%, 70%, but he's going to have to be ready. He can't just be out there just thinking I'm going to draw some attention. They're going to see right through that, and they're going to, go for the jugular.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, definitely needs to make a little plays. So, but I looking at the line -7, I think I'm taking the Lions, and I'm gonna take the insurance. I'm gonna go 10.5. Yeah. I'm taking the Lions.
And Mike, I'm gonna say with you, if I'm going with the 49ers, let's just get that straight. But if Debo is not right, if we see and we know, your bet's gonna win.
Oh, I think they're gonna cover regardless, though. So Debo
I
or
don't
not.
think so. I don't think so
Debo
if
or
Debo's
not.
ready. I think they'll blow the Detroit out
I'm calling it.
by at least 10.
Regardless who plays, it's going to be within 10 points.
Now, I will say this. I think Purdy is going to have to play better than he did last week, but that is because Debo was out. So, but yeah.
Went out early and ruined my parlay.
You showed it. You let me know that. Yeah.
One catch short and 1 yard short.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think but we hit all the angles on that, y'all. Debo's necessary.
Yeah. But that, as far as the gambling game goes, y'all, that's how brutal it can be. It can come down to just a little injury. That's twice this year I lost parlays. Lost a parlay to Mark Andrews being injured. He had 24 yards. All I needed was him to get 1 more yard.
Yeah.
And then Debo just went out 1 catch short and 1 yard short. So that's how brutal it can be, how close you come.
Yeah.
Week to week, y'all.
Yeah.
So, but that's why it keeps making me come back.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm getting it. So, all right, Steve. So the 49ers. Now, one thing I like about the 49ers is, of course, Debo, right?
Yeah.
He is, I believe, the engine of that team.
Yeah.
I think it's his personality that,
absolutely.
He's just a leader on the team and people follow him. I saw yesterday, I believe that, and this is kind of unusual in football because the way football is, a lot of times you spend more time with your position players than anybody else. Of course you do come together and play together, but you spend a lot of time with your position players. So if you're a wide receiver, a lot of times your best friends on the team are wide receivers. If you're a defensive back, your best friends are defensive backs.
Yeah.
But what was interesting about Debo is his best friend is Trent Williams, the giant offensive tackle.
Yeah.
And future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was pretty interesting that they were best friends.
Yeah.
Big guy and little guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
just clicking, yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome, man. But that's also a great part of the game is those friendships, and those guys been playing together all these years, and they are lifelong friends, brothers. So that's a beautiful thing, beautiful side of football.
Yeah.
It's a brotherhood. It's family.
Yeah. But to win, who's going to have to be there? Debo.
But Debo's got to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to.
Which also, I did know this, though. So the 3-game losing streak that you mentioned, because you mentioned they didn't win when Debo was out.
Yeah.
I did not realize this until I was reading that article. Trent Williams was also out those 3 games.
Now, I don't want to go too far with that, but that might be a connection. A connection.
No, you need your left tackle protecting your quarterback. So if he's out, that's big. And then your top weapon, or one of your top weapons, top 2.
And I will say this, Mike, when it comes, now we talking about, because it's getting down to the nitty gritty, but just when we talking about parlays, those are the type of things that if you have insight with things like it, you can start to find things that can change, the difference between losing and winning.
Yeah. The difference between losing, it's a thin line between winning and losing.
But Mike, take it to the AFC and let us know what you feel.
Oh yeah, we're gonna take it to the best side, the best conference, AFC, y'all. We got the Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champions from last season, going against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
In Baltimore. Oh man, this game I cannot wait to see.
Yeah.
You talking about good. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league going against each other. Now, not of course going against each other, but their teams are playing each other. And of course, quarterbacks always get compared against each other, even though they never see the field at the same time against each other, but they're always compared against each other. So, of course, Steve, you know where I'm at. I'm with the Ravens all the way. I've been there all year. Now, I told you last week, the sly veterans of the Kansas City Chiefs, I knew they were going to beat the Bills because they just have superior coaching over the Bills, and also superiority at the quarterback position. Mahomes is a magician, right? And this is going to be a tough game for the Ravens, but I do believe the defense is going to be strong enough, Steve, that the Ravens are going to come out victorious. The defense is going to be the difference. I think turnovers. Mahomes is going to throw at least 1 pick, maybe 2, and maybe a fumble. it's gonna be a tough game for Mahomes.
But that's right. Yeah. Now I like that type of talk because you went out on a limb right there. You said interception and a fumble. Okay, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I might make that bet. That might be one of my player prop bets. But man, the Ravens are tough. Their running game. I mean, they ran for 229 yards last week. Lamar's hard to stop. I mean, Mahomes is mobile, but not like Lamar. I just like the Ravens, no doubt.
I tell you, when you said about quarterbacks, when you was talking about the Bills and you were saying better quarterback, I think Josh Allen is more comparable to Lamar than Mahomes, and so I think the Bills just lost because they had. So in other words, I don't think that the Ravens will make the mistakes.
Like the Ravens.
Yeah, and I don't think the Ravens will make the mistakes that the Bills made. In other words, you give it to Lamar with the same amount of time the Bills had it and they was down by 3. Okay, that's so so sorry for you.
Yeah, which I would say though, I respect the Chiefs. It's crazy because some people were saying they were having a down season, which is crazy. You go to the AFC Championship and that's a down season for you. So that's pretty impressive. Which 6 AFC Championships in a row. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. I mean,
but
that's
then
like Patriot type stuff.
But we got to go back to what we were saying earlier. Just when we was talking about quarterbacks, sometimes the numbers don't say it all, and the Chiefs didn't play like we've seen them play. Yeah. Usually we would see the Chiefs at 11-3 right there with the Ravens.
Which you said the numbers don't always tell the truth. Because like with Lamar, his numbers weren't tremendous last week. He only had 152 passing yards. But he was efficient, 16 of 22, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, and he also had 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. So I'll be honest, like the Ravens still don't have a star wide receiver.
Yeah,
they still don't have a star wide receiver. I mean, Zay Flowers, he's gonna be a stud, but he's a rookie. And Odell Beckham, he's at the end of his career. He's not effective like he used to be. Aguilar, he's a veteran he's been on 6 different teams. Like he's not a star. Like he's not a star. I mean, he's an upgrade maybe from what they had last year, but they don't have a Tyreek Hill. They don't have a Devontae Adams. They don't have just any of them. Name another top quarterback. He doesn't have one of them.
And let's go back to what we was talking about earlier. MVP. He's not surrounded with studs.
Now he does have a top tight end, but he's been hurt for most. He's been out.
Yeah, Andrew. And then now, when you think of tight ends, like you say, he's been out, and I look at how good Laporta's doing. It seems like, but
now Laporta slowed up a little bit though because he hurt his knee. So since he hurt his knee, I think the last game of the season, he hasn't been that great in the playoffs. But yeah, he had a great season, no doubt.
Yeah, now when I was watching the game the other day, he was catching. He had that brace on his leg. He said it slowed him down a little bit, but compared to Mark Andrews, how usually I would look at him as a top dog, he's been out. So I haven't even been looking at him like that. So it makes it even more where I'm thinking Lamar is really doing a whole lot.
Yeah, your top target is out. You don't have a star wide receiver, and you're playing in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's
and your starting running back went down for the season as well.
Mike, what you saying? I cannot argue with you. It just makes me think even more how Lamar should be the MVP, hands down.
I just really hope that they can eventually get like a legit top wide receiver for Lamar, like a legit, like give him a Terrell Owens or something, a CeeDee Lamb.
You could name a lot of them. You went back to T.O., Randy Moss, our current CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill. I mean, you're right.
Yeah, so hopefully they get to that point. But if they win a Super Bowl without a star quarterback, without a star wide receiver, you better watch out if he does get a star wide receiver.
MVP, that's all I can say. MVP, Lamar, all the way.
All the way.
Yeah.
So. But that's so I'm rolling with Steve. They are the favorite in that game against the Chiefs. Ravens are -4 favorites. I'm gonna take the money line on the Ravens for the insurance, but I do think the Ravens are gonna pull it out, and this is why. And this has always been my philosophy. You might even remember me saying this back in the day at work.
Mm-hmm.
Defense wins championships. And that's what the Ravens going to do.
Yeah. It does make things difficult.
Mahomes is going to be running for his life. So I might take the yardage on Mahomes. I might take that. So, which that brings me to, y'all. We're going to get into my player prop picks. And let's do it, y'all. I got some good ones for y'all. Here we go. So I'm coming heavy, but I'm also coming light because I'm coming with the low risk bets, right? So I got 26 of these, so I'm coming heavy. But yet, you can break these up, split them up, however you want to do it. Take what you like, throw the rest out. We don't care, but these are some picks that I like. So I got Lamar, 175 plus passing yards. He's averaging 229 yards per game. Although the Chiefs' defense has been kind of stingy over the season, they've been averaging giving up 175 yards passing. But I just think it's time. Lamar's going to do it. He's coming. He wants that ship, so he's going to perform. And I also got Mahomes 175 plus yards because, you can't count that man out. He's averaging 261 yards passing, but the Ravens are only giving up 191 yards as well. So it's going to be a tight contest there in the passing game. Hopefully we see both of those quarterbacks over 175. Also like Kelsey, 40 plus receiving yards. And this is almost automatic. 40 yards is almost automatic for Kelsey, so you might as well take it. Rashee Rice, 25 plus receiving yards. This is like Mahomes' new favorite target, so he's going to get some catches, at least 3 to 4 catches for anywhere from 30 to 40 yards. So if not better, but I like that one. Zay Flowers, 25 plus yards as well. He's been over 25 yards 14 of 17 games this year, y'all. Only 3 games he has not been over 25 yards. That's almost an automatic win right there. Also, like Kelsey with 4 or more catches, he can catch 4 passes in his sleep. All right, so that's a safe bet. Also, like Rashee Rice, 4 receptions or more. He hasn't had less than 4 catches in a game in over 10 weeks. Or it's been, the bye week. Yeah. So it's been 10 weeks since he had less than 4 catches. So that's a pretty good bet right there. Zay Flowers, 3 plus receiving yards. He's averaging over 3 catches. So that's a pretty safe bet. Isaiah Pacheco, 2 plus receptions, right? Over 2. He's going to get some dump offs with the pressure, the screen passes that they're probably going to run against the attacking Ravens defense. I'm going to say Pacheco is definitely going to get 2 catches. Also like Odell Osmell Beckham to get at least 1 catch or more. The old man is good for at least 1. Come on, Odell, do something, buddy. Pacheco under 66.5 yards rushing. I don't think he's going to go over that against the Ravens D, so I like that one as well, and that's pretty good paying odds on that one. Gus Edwards, because a lot of these are low, right? These are under 300, minus 300, so they're not paying out a whole lot, but again, when you take a lot of these low-risk bets, put them together, it can pay out pretty well, because actually when I get done with this, I'll tell you what this is, and it's pretty nice. Let's go with Gus Edwards, 25 plus rushing yards. He's averaging 47 yards, and he has only had 2 games all year out of 18 games. Only 2 he has had less than 25 yards rushing, so that's a pretty safe bet. I'm also going to go with Lamar Jackson to throw a touchdown, at least 1, and also Mahomes to throw at least 1 touchdown. I also like Jared Goff in the NFC. 175 yards passing or more. I believe he's averaging about 240, 250. Brock Purdy, I'm going to take him 200 plus passing yards if Debo plays. Now, if Debo doesn't play, I might scratch that one and throw something else in. But if Debo is healthy enough to play, I'm going to go with the 200 yards passing with Brock Purdy. I also like Amon-Ra St. Brown, 40 plus receiving yards. He's been very consistent throughout the year, and he's really turned it on in the playoffs. So I like that bet right there. I'm also going to go with Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield, two or more receptions. That's going to be pretty easy to attain, I believe, as well. Now, this one here is a little bit of a more high risk bet, but I'm going to take Josh Reynolds with over 2 receptions. In the 2 playoff games that I've seen, Jared Goff seems to like him, and he's been going to him pretty often, so I think 2 is pretty safe there. I also like George Kittle, 3 receptions or more, because and especially if Debo does not play, he should definitely have at least 3 catches, but I think that's a pretty safe one there. McCaffrey, 50 plus 50 plus rushing yards, and also McCaffrey for 25 or more receiving yards, so 75 total. You can do a combination bet on that one if you want to, rushing yards and receiving yards over 75. I also like the under. Now I adjusted this quite a bit on the over under. I went with under 60.5 total points in the Lions versus the 49ers. Now this could end up a high scoring game, but I think it's going to be a pretty stingy affair with both teams under 30 points. So I like that 60.5 as a safe bet. Rounding out, I got 3 more here. I got Jared Goff also throwing a touchdown pass. He has only had 1 game all year where he did not throw a touchdown pass. I repeat, he has had only 1 game all year where he had 0 touchdown passes. So pretty solid there. And then I'm going to take my picks. So I'm going to go with the points. I'm going to take some points with the Detroit Lions. I'm going to move the spread. It is -7, but I'm going to go up to 13.5. And the reason I'm doing that is because I do think the Lions are going to be competitive in this game. I think they'll keep it close, but I'm taking the insurance. 49ers are going to have to beat them by 2 touchdowns. And to show you the difference, so if you took the money line on the 49ers, it pays -330. And if you take the points with Detroit plus 13.5, it's -250. So you're getting a better payout by taking the Lions at 13.5. So that's why I took them rather than the 49ers at money line, because I do believe the 49ers are going to win, but it's going to be a close game. The Lions got some fight in them. I don't think they're just going to lay down and get trampled on, and it's going to be a dog fight. And rounding out my top 26 player prop picks of the week, I'm going to go ahead, which this is actually not a player prop bet, but I'm going to go ahead and take my squad, the Baltimore Ravens, with the money line. It's probably going to be a close game. I don't think the Chiefs are going to lay down. There's some vets. They got good coaching, great quarterback. It's going to be a tough game for the Ravens, but I do think they're going to pull it out in the end. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the money line safe bet on this. Now, so like I said, I gave you 26 good picks, and that is 83-1 odds. 83-1 odds, right? Now, again, take them as you want to. It's worth a risk, low risk bet, low risk picks, low risk bet, right? Throw a few dollars on it. $5, it's going to pay out over $400, right? It's worth a shot. Then, if you want to, split them up. That's what I'm going to do. Break them up into 8 or 9 picks each and throw down some money on those as well. And again, this is getting to the end, y'all, the nitty gritty. You got 2 more chances left this week and Super Bowl week to get your money. So let's go get it. Go get it, y'all.
Y'all don't forget to hit us up on YouTube, like and subscribe, and at KF Pickin on Twitter for you youngins, X, and at Kentucky Fried Pickin Podcast on Instagram. We love to hear from y'all. Mike Cannon, you know we love to hear from you all the time. Can't wait to hear it.
What's up, Mississippi? Yes, sir. So we appreciate y'all tuning in. It's been a great show. We enjoyed being here with y'all. This is fun for us, y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in and enjoying it with us. But this is sadly getting close to the end, y'all. So make sure you get your bets in, because you don't have many more weeks left. We got this week in Super Bowl, y'all. So you got to get it in so you can make that money before the season ends. We're out of here, y'all. You got anything else, Steve?
Y'all be blessed.
Be blessed. Peace out, y'all.
Do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Go on, tell a friend and tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Go on, tell a friend and tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
I'm recognized all over the world now, but my greatness came and started in Louisville, Kentucky, and that's one of the greatest cities in America, Louisville, Kentucky. And I predict that Louisville, Kentucky will have another world champion, because Louisville is the greatest.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Let's call it a night. The party's over.